Konnichiwa, guys, gals, number never pass, everybody else. My spirits and ghouls, witches, wizards, and muggles. Hi. Welcome to this video. So, just heads up, I am self-diagnosed at the moment, and personally, as long as you have done a proper self-diagnosis with proper research, then yes, I call it valid. So if you don't like self-diagnosis, then you don't have to watch this video. So neurotypical is a term that's used to describe individuals with typical neurological development or functioning. It is not specific to any particular group, including autism spectrum disorder. In other words, it's not used to describe individuals who have autism or other developmental differences. So I'm guessing that you are neurotypical, and if you aren't, then that was not for you. Then there's neurological. Neurological disorders are medically defined as disorders that affect the brain as well as the nerves found throughout the human body and spinal cord. Structural, biochemical, or electrical abnormalities in the brain, spinal cord, or other nerves can result in a range of symptoms. Neurological example is autistic people, like me. Now there's some big standard symptoms of autism. For example, sensory issues like feeling uncomfortable by specific textures, smells, and sounds. We're not good socially. We can be very socially awkward, and unless we mask, then we don't have a lot of censor, and we just say the stuff we want. Then we also have special interests that we get really indulged in. And before I get into my special interests, then let me just say that we like to be literate. If we hear incorrect information, then we like to correct those people. Now my special interest is at the moment My Hero Academia and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Especially the characters Natsuko Todoroki, Enji Todoroki aka Endeavor, and Raph or Raphael Hamato. I don't just love them as favorite characters, they have also become my biggest comfort characters. Natsuko because I see him as an older brother figure, I don't know why, but I do. Enji is a father figure, don't question it. And Raph as... yeah, that's a bit too personal for me to be comfortable to talk about. Let's just say I love him a lot. I love them so much that I currently have 99 images of Natsuko in my camera roll, 207 images of Enji, and 224 of Raph. I only have 99 of Natsu because he isn't close to as popular. Not even close to being remotely close to being as popular. Now to go to something else that I've struggled with but is helpable, if that's even a real word, is sensory issues. Personally, okay, this might not only be me. This is probably for a lot of people, but every time I have to pick up food from the sink, even with layers of paper between my fingers and the food, I still get shivers down my spine. And the same with stone wall texture, that school building wall type of stone wall texture. Every time I touch it, I feel real uncomfortable and like if my skin and the fabric of my clothes is kind of sticking to the wall. And when I get my nail scraped on it, it feels like I'm gonna puke. Then there are smells. The worst for me is chemical smells. It seriously gives me headaches and makes me feel actually sick. I do have one favorite scent, of course. Vanilla. I fucking love the scent of vanilla. I find it really calming and actually kinda comforting. I do also love the taste of vanilla. Vanilla and chocolate must be my comfort taste. Yeah, I like to search after comfort things to make me feel safe in a messed up world like this. One thing that can sound kinda weird Instead, I hate loud noises, but I love listening to metal and loud bass music on full volume in my headphones. Not speakers, but my headphones. When I'm around close to speakers and they get louder and louder, I feel this uncomfortable feeling in my body, and I always get terrified that the speakers will glitch and will leave a loud bass or beep that tears through your ears, or that the speakers will explode. Then socially, oh boy, I could talk a lot here, but I probably won't find the right words, and I'm sorry that I just breathed into the mic like that. But me knowing myself, I probably got something onto this little screen that I can say. I've always had a kind of hard time socializing. Or let me rephrase that. I've always had a hard time with strangers. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been a shy kid. If I saw a pair of strangers in the direction of where I was going, yeah, I'll take another way just to avoid having people look at me and maybe wanna talk to me. And that's how I am nowadays as well, actually. Let's go, social anxiety. I probably wouldn't have so much trouble with socializing if it wasn't for me being called annoying over and over and over again, just because I have liked to talk more than a rapper raps in an album. Well, when I talk about stuff that I find interesting, then I will unintentionally be unable to shut the fuck up until you either shut me up or I realize myself that I'm talking too much, and then I will either not talk at all or talk as little as possible whenever someone asks me directly something. That's also why I try my best to not talk a lot normally now, since I'm very aware that if someone lets me talk about something I'm very interested about, I will not shut the fuck up and I can come off as annoying and blabbering. Two other things I came up with now while writing this script is emotional numbness and stimming. The emotional numbness is that I have a very difficult time feeling strong emotions. Very rarely, actually. And I also have a hard time understanding other people's emotions. I can still comfort people thanks to teaching myself how to, but the only comfort I know is hugging and comforting words. Then stimming. Stimming or self-stimulatory behavior is repetitive or unusual body movements or noises. Stimming might include hand and finger mannerisms, for example, finger flicking and hands flapping, unusual body movements, for example, rocking back and forth while sitting or standing. Ooh, I rock back and forth when I stand so much. My stimming is rolling a piece of hair around my finger, biting my nails in the skin on the tip of my fingers, lightly pressing my fingers together in a pattern, shaking my hands very quickly and very quickly tiptoeing in one place. Shaking my hands quickly is something I do when I get really happy and excited. Oh yeah, mentioning patterns, I work in patterns, and if that pattern is broken, then I don't do it at all for that time, and I will feel bad and weird about it. Thank you for listening to me rant about autism and my autistic journey. Okay, not really journey, but you get what I mean, okay? I know you do. Don't lie to me. I hope you will have an amazing day, or night, or evening, or morning, whenever you decide to watch this video, and maybe see you in the next video. We'll see. I won't force anyone to stay here. Have a good. Bye bye.